And welcome back to another In the Studio, a Q95 FM exclusive music production. With us tonight is Josh Martin, and he's releasing his new CD. How you doing, Josh?
Doing great. Thanks for having me today.
No, we really appreciate it. I think it's an honor that you came back to Eastern Kentucky to release that. I mean, you could have done that anywhere.
Well, yeah, I've always tried to make it a point to get back here and do something and include everybody that I grew up with in everything that I've been doing in Nashville, and it just seemed right, and I enjoy seeing everybody and just, like I said, having everybody included in all this stuff, man.
Yeah, when I mentioned this to a few friends, we kind of put a teaser out there on Facebook. A lot of people responded, glad to have you back, looking forward to it. You've been to a couple of venues lately, and you're signing your CD release, and you brought it out this last week. And we really appreciate you taking the time to stop in here, and even brought your dad with you, Tom. We appreciate that.
Partner in crime.
Yeah, that's right. An accomplished photographer.
I
I have a cheat sheet, and I've learned a little bit from him on that, too. So I want to thank you, Tom, for that. So, Josh, your new CD's titled Nothing Holding Me. How'd you come up with that?
Well, when I first started co-writing in Nashville, a good buddy of mine, Philip White, we were sitting around and I was talking about life back here in the mountains and getting up and making the decision to move out of here was one of the toughest decisions I'd ever made in my life, just because I'd loved it so much, and I still do deeply, and I deeply care for the people here, and we were just talking. That kind of slipped out of my mouth was nothing holding me here but you, and he said, man, we should write that song. And I knew that day that we wrote it, it was one of those songs that I was going to end up recording and doing something with, just because it spoke about so much in the song. So I've been planning around Nashville 4 or 5 years now, and it's pretty crazy how the time frame goes with something like that. But I'm glad that we got to put it down to record and putting it out as a title cut. It's a cool song.
And that's what I wanted to get back to, too. You actually said record, and you've actually got a vinyl old school album.
Yes, we did. We printed, we used United Record Pressing down in Nashville. They print basically anybody you can think of in the music business that are still printing vinyl, they're doing it.
I bet they've got a lot of history of who they printed in the past also.
Well, I'll tell you this quick story. We were down, and this is just exclusively for those listeners on Q95. If this leaks out to the world, it could explode the multiverse of, of social media. But we were down there picking up my vinyl, and right beside, I'm walking into the warehouse, and they've got everything stacked up there, Josh Martin in alphabetical order. The next record over was the new Justin Timberlake album.
Wow.
And if I'd have thought, I'd have took a picture of it and posted it up and been like WikiLeaks,
There you go. Well, we won't tell anybody, even though it's streaming worldwide on the web. But.
Yeah.
Josh, why don't you play us a song this Sunday evening?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess I'll just go ahead and do the title cut off the record. Get down and drop D here. It's called Nothing Holding Me. We had a caution light that used to blink till the bulb shot out and the town went broke like me. There ain't no church on church, no buzz on Main. Well, everything that was, oh, now it ain't. Round here ain't a dang thing left to do. There ain't nothing holding me here but you. Well, if we's out west, we'd have tumbleweeds. We could watch them blow to break up the monotony. This town's lost its boom, and the city's 6 hours down the road. And my empty pockets telling me that I should go. But girl, I just can't seem to cut you loose. There ain't nothing holding me here but you. Well, these old dark days are worth the cold dark nights. Lying in your arms where everything's alright. You say you're gonna stay, so I will too. So there's nothing holding me here but you. Well, my folks been gone a few months now. Daddy's melting steel down in Birmingham. We pray every day, but it's still slow. So we're running corn, 'cause ain't nobody buying coal. Girl, these hills are black, but your eyes are blue. And there ain't nothing holding me here but you. Well, these old dog days are worth the cold dark nights. Lying in your arms where everything's alright. You say you're gonna stay, so I will too. Well, there's nothing holding me here but you. Yeah, there's nothing holding me here but you. Now. Hell bent to stay, and I am too, Lord. So there's nothing holding me here but you. Yeah, there's nothing holding me. Yeah.
Josh Martin in the studio, nothing holding me. Don't want to say, Josh, that's awesome. It really is. I mean,
Thanks, Phil.
This is probably my sixth show that we've started doing here at Q95 FM, and everybody's come in acoustic. I thought, well, they're going to bring in recording, they're going to do some talking, and it just amazes me at the talent that we have in this area.
It's incredible.
It
really is. I tell everybody that I come into contact with, professionals down in Nashville, that there is an undiscovered hotbed. I don't know if it's undiscovered because, you've had Keith Whitley and Ricky Skaggs and all those names that you heard from Route 23, But for every one of those guys, it almost feels like there's 40, 50 that's just laying here ready to just open up and take over the world,
It is. It's amazing. And what we're blessed to have in this area is the Prestonsburg Tourism, the Mountain Arts Center, the Expo Center in Pikeville, the Country Music Museum in Paintsville,
yep.
and these local restaurants opening up for the songwriters. It's just every Tuesday at 7 o'clock they open up. Anybody can come in, no matter if you're playing a mandolin, a harmonica,
right.
Just come in, sit and play.
Yeah.
And the thing, everybody just gets together and jams.
Jam, man.
It's just like a big family.
That's awesome, yeah.
This is brought to you by the Prestonsburg Tourism, which brings you Songwriters Night every Tuesday night at a different venue. This week it's going to be at El Rodeo in Prestonsburg. Come on out and have a great play some music and listen to some great music. Josh, I was looking on here. You've got 11 songs on here, and you wrote every one of these songs.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You see, it's a collaboration. You wrote some great songs. Some of them I've heard, that you put out there on videos on YouTube.
Right.
Is there
the
anyone
funny thing with that is 11 out of I probably had 200 to choose from is the weird thing. But when you get involved in co-writing in Nashville, especially working for a publishing company or something like that, they sign you up and that's all you do every day for 2 years.
They lock you in a room and
it's pretty incredible to think about how it works. But some of your favorite songs have come about through planned co-writes like that. So
and then sometimes you just happen on somebody and it just clicks, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then some days you wake up with a melody and an idea, and you just do it yourself too. There's nothing wrong with that either. But
Do you ever wake up and say, "Oh wow, what was that lyric? I've got to get that lyric back in my
man,
head"?
I've done that more often recently. I don't know if it's the kids that are wearing me out or what, but I'll wake up in the middle of the night and like I'll be dreaming of a song, and I hear it, but I wake up too late because I don't have time to write it down. Is the bad thing. So, yeah.
And I was looking, a friend of mine wrote me last night that heard you were going to be in here and said, you and your dad used to play at the Graceway Maytown Church. So music's been an upbringing for you probably since early childhood, I would think.
Oh, yeah. Dad, that's how I got started playing. Dad used to tour in a bluegrass gospel group, ironically called the Bluegrass Gospel Boys.
That works.
How'd you come up with that? It was original.
Yeah.
But
It works.
it worked.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite memories, I guess, from that whole thing was we actually got to play at the Smithsonian Folklife Festival in D.C.
Wow, that's
with that
great.
group when I was 12 years old, and we got to go to Washington, and it was kind of like Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, with that old Jimmy Stewart movie.
Exactly.
We all show up,
I used to work with Melvin Goins, and I was telling you earlier some of the stories, and, they used to get on top of the drive-in and, on the concession stand and play at the Strand. He said they would be lying down the street. So music in this area is it's been here forever, and hopefully it will continue with people like you bringing it back.
It's a deep heritage. I can't think of any other way a kid should grow up.
It's an honor. It's great that you have the talent you can do that. You got another song maybe for us?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got 11. We won't do all of them.
Well, we're running digital. Keep rolling.
I think this is going to be the next single that we've got a bunch of stuff getting in the works, and hopefully 2020 is going to be a pretty good year for us. But when we get the radio thing figured out, I think this is going to go straight to radio. It's called Between God and Me. Some folks round here think it ain't right to drink a few beers on a Saturday night, but the way I see it's between God and me. And people, they'll say you don't love the Lord if you ain't in church every Sunday morning, but I believe it's between God and me. Everybody gonna tell you how to live your life, but there's 10 main rules that I go by, and I might slip up every now and then, but I'll take it right to him in my truck or on my knees. We keep in touch 7 days a week. He's always down for shooting the breeze. Ain't nothing in the world gonna get between God and me. I might fry my food or raise my kids a whole lot like my daddy did. And if you don't agree, well, it might not sound pretty when I pray, but I talk to him in my own way. In the book I read says that's between God and me. Everybody gonna tell you how to live your life, but there's 10 main rules that I go by, and I might slip up every now and then, but I take it right to him in my truck or on my knees. We keep in touch 7 days a week. He's always down for shooting the breeze. Ain't nothing in the world gonna get between God and me. Well, times are hard and years getting lean, but he says ask and you shall receive. Guess I got all I need between God and me. Everybody gonna tell you how to live your life, but there's 10 main rules that I go by. And I might slip up every now and then, but I take it right to him. In my truck or on my knees, we keep in touch 7 days a week. He's always down for shooting the breeze. Ain't nothing in the world gonna get between God and me. Nothing ever gonna get between God and me. Nothing ever gonna get between God and me.
Acoustically from Josh Martin. Thank you, Josh. I was looking at, you've got a collage. You got to pick up this CD if you're out there listening. He'll make it available, and we'll give you some details how to contact Josh on Facebook and his websites. But there's a collage of pictures, and right in the middle there's a picture saying Eastern, and I think that says a lot. That just stood out to me, and I'm sure your dad had something to do with some of the pictures. But,
Well,
sorry.
Well, he gave them all to me. I kind of had the idea of doing that. It's just a collage. I think the pictures probably run from the early 20s to today, and it just kind of shows you how the passage of time can affect a place, in that way. But yeah, Eastern right in the center of it. I mean, every time I'm out somewhere in Nashville playing a show or something, anywhere really, the first thing I tell everybody is I'm from a little town in eastern Kentucky called Eastern.
I said, now, where is that exactly?
Yeah, it's just down the road from Northern. And,
That's right. Josh, we do appreciate you coming in this evening. What's forthcoming? You got your new CD release. I'm sure you're going to be traveling a lot this upcoming winter and summer.
Yeah, like I said, I independently released this CD, and with just I just knew I had to make an album. For anything else to happen, I knew I had to put together the songs that I loved and get them out to people to hear. And thankfully, in the process, I've met several people in Nashville that are wanting to help, get this thing going. And one of the key elements to that is going to be getting a lot of dates on the books for 2020 and taking it, outside of Eastern Kentucky. Even though if I could, I would come back here every daggone weekend and play a show. But we just want to get it everywhere that it needs to be heard, and so we've got several people in line to help out with that side, and hopefully we can spread the good word about Floyd County.
Yeah, that's just like the old days. Laura Lynn, she went, our next door neighbor here, she went door to door to radio stations, knocked on those doors. Yeah. You got to get out and beat the bushes. Thankfully, you've got social media. It lets you be a little bit more independent.
People don't pay attention on social media anymore.
No. We post on Facebook. He's going to notice that. Yeah. We'll go ahead and tell us how they can get in contact with you on social media, maybe your website.
Sure, yeah. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook handle is Josh Martin Official. Instagram is real Josh Martin. And then for everything else, just check out my website. It's www.joshmartinofficial.com. I've got a store set up on there where you can get on there and get a CD or a vinyl or digital download. I've got some T-shirts on there. Everything is it's a great cause. It's diapering my two-year-old.
Probably not cheap.
No. So yeah, and you can reach out to me on any of those. I'll be glad to chat with you. So
now, how's having a kid? Is that changing musically?
It changes everything.
I would think a lot of inspiration and a lot of downtime also.
Hey, it's just you talk about perspective. Everybody should have a kid. That'll do it for you.
But I'm sure a lot of that music in the heart, and your music, I was listening to it last night, and what you played today, it's feel-good music. It kind of tells of your roots, your home, and it just makes you want to turn up the radio and drive.
Well,
it is.
I hope everybody feels that way now.
I'm sure they will, and we'll stream this on our Q95 FM. You can get our app in the App Store for iOS and Android devices, q95fm.net. And we'll stream this a little bit later in the week, and you'll be available to also stream the show live. So
awesome.
We appreciate that. Maybe another song in you tonight?
Yeah, I'll do one more.
We're just gonna lock the door and keep you in here for a while.
I'll have to charge you. No, thanks again for letting me come down, man. This one's called Longview. My daddy's dad, he spent his life down in the mines. And he didn't make it to get that gold watch at 65. As a young man, I grew up and watched my whole world disappear. Now the bags are all loaded and I'm getting the hell out of here. Well, this rusty old small town is all that the company left us. I threw a dart at the map on the wall, and it landed in Texas. Oh, I'm leaving this world that I knew, fading away in the rear view. I'm headed for Longview. Well, down there an American dreamer has places to go. And they say that the springtime comes early where the blue bonnets grow. And if you be my lone star lover, baby, we'll never turn back. At least down in Longview, Texas, our tap water won't be running black. Well, this rusty old small town is all that the company left us. I threw a dart at the map on the wall, and it landed in Texas. Oh, I'm leaving this world that I knew, fading away in the rear view. I'm headed for Longview, headed for Longview, yeah. Oh, I'm headed for Longview, headed for Longview. Oh, I'm headed for Longview.
Longview, cut number 11 on the new CD released by Josh Martin. Thank you, Josh.
Thanks, Alan.
I like that, threw a dart at the map on the wall.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we've all wanted to do that. So.
Yeah, it's true stories.
Yeah. Sometimes the road to do that. It's always great to get away, but I think sometimes it's better to come back home. So,
It is, absolutely. Always great.
Like I said, it was an honor for your dad to stop in with you today. We appreciate that. And I thought he brought lunch, but that must be somebody else's. But
That's somebody else's French.
we might, as they say, cabbage that before you leave. So. Wondering if you could play Hard Times. That's always one of the first songs that I heard when you started posting stuff on YouTube, and I like that.
Sure, absolutely. I wrote both of these tunes with a fellow Kentuckian, Kent Blasey. He was kind of instrumental in getting Garth Brooks all of his tunes, and he's he's an incredible human being, incredible songwriter. So if he's listening, this is for you, Blasey. each Sunday morning. Take Route 23 to Detroit City to build the cars that made this country move. And then he'd punch that clock on Friday, head back to Kentucky, only home for just a day or two. And that's what he had to do, yeah. It was hard times in Floyd County. You could hear that wolf scratching at the door. Hard times in Floyd County, 'cause that old coal train don't run there anymore. They said that town was broke down and rusty, like those steel rails that used to shine. There was rotted tires and weeds between the tracks. Most folks blew away like that engine smoke, looking for a better road. Once they left, they never did look back. And that's what they had to do. Yeah, that's hard times in Floyd County. You could hear that wolf scratching at the door. Hard times in Floyd County, 'cause that old coal train don't run there anymore. Yeah, nah, no. Well, that's the end of my granddad's story. But the last few words he said to me set off a restless rumble neath my feet. And you know that's the thing about history. If you don't learn, you're doomed to repeat. It looks like there's always gonna be hard times in Floyd County. Hear that wolf scratching at the door. Hard times in Floyd County, 'cause that old coal train don't run there anymore. Lord, Lord, said that old coal train don't run there anymore. No.
And streaming live on the web with the MyQ95 app and the App Store for iOS and Android devices. And that ought to help get you out there a little bit, too.
There we go.
So you're worldwide and Prestonsburg bound, so there you go. I'm going to try to steal one more song from you if you've got it in you, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Is there a second favorite you want to hear?
Well, I like them all. We can start with the 200, work our way down, I guess. We'll do the Casey Kasem of Josh Martin.
Yeah, there we go. I'll do this song to close out. This is one that I wrote. I just kind of picked up a pen one day and it just kind of fell out of the sky. Sometimes they do that. And I had this little melody I was playing with and it just seemed to work. So this is called Two Sides. He said, she said, they said it too, so it must be true. And the salt in the wound is, it seems that everyone knew but you. Now I ain't defending my actions or degrading your right to choose, but before you do, do you realize every story has two sides? And if I told you every answer ain't always found in plain sight, that in between the lines, the black and the white's all shades of gray. Good and bad is all in where your eyes are pointed. Would it change your mind? Would it change your mind? Well, she's probably brought out every low-down account about me. Has a case against all of these years were the heart-shaped memories. But I bet she didn't tell you how I pleaded for just one more beggar man's chance. And that's no coincidence. No, no, no. But do you realize every story has two sides? And if I told you every answer ain't always found in plain sight, in between the lines, the black and the white's all shades of gray. Good and bad is all in where your eyes are pointed. Would it change your mind? Would it change your mind? Would it change your mind? They say the history books are always written by the winners. The tales are told, but the facts overlooked, and the light of truth grows dimmer. Do you realize every story has two sides? And if I told you every answer ain't always found in plain sight, but in between the lines, the black and the white's all shades of gray. Good and bad is all in where your eyes are pointed. Would it change your mind? 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 Would it change your mind?
Cut number 6, Two Sides. Josh Martin's Nothing Holding Me Back debut CD. Josh, we appreciate you coming in this evening, and tell us a little bit about your guitar.
Yeah.
You seem pretty partial to it. It sounds really good. The acoustics are really nice.
Yeah. It's a Santa Cruz guitar. It's actually a copy of an old pre-war Martin, and those are like the most sought after is pre-1942, I guess. But I actually bought this. There's a guy that I've met in town named Will Kimbrough, and he's played with Emmylou Harris. He had a band called Willie and the Sugar Caps. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But his friend in Mobile, Alabama, he's a lawyer down there. He had this guitar, and I didn't even know that it was Will's friend. And I got to looking online, and we were messaging back and forth. I said, "Man, do you ever make a trip to Nashville?" And he said, "Yeah, I come up there all the time and stay with my friend Will." I said, someone just told me. I said, I got to ask. I said, sent him a message back. I said, "You wouldn't happen to mean Will Kimbrough, would you?" He said, "Yeah, that's my great buddy from high school." I said, "Well, let's just meet up down at Will's place and we'll do the deal there. And he was like, all right.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So-
Everybody said Nashville's a big city. It's musically, it's not. I mean,
No,
it's not.
You start. I mean, you get out there and you start meeting all these people, and you really see
The
just how
Bluebird
small,
exit in. Yeah, I mean,
just how small the world is.
Exactly.
You know, you're one person away from anybody in the world.
I remember used to go to Fridays, TGI Fridays, when it was close to downtown, and the cast of Hee Haw would walk in.
Really?
I mean, yeah, it's just amazing. You just never know who's going to be
Grandpa
there.
Jones. Was he on there?
Yeah, he was. What's for dinner? We'll have to ask Tom about that later. But well, there you go. Josh, we really appreciate it. Josh Martin, nothing holding me back, or nothing holding me, but might as well be nothing holding me back because I think that's where you're going. I mean, we see a bright future and the heritage you have and the passion you have for it and the sound itself and just being a good guy all around. We really appreciate you coming in the studio this evening.
Well, thank you, Al. It's a pleasure being here.
Well, thank you very much. I know you got a busy schedule this week and probably the next year itself. In the studio, Josh Martin, Tom Martin, and myself, Alan Bowling. In the studio is an exclusive production of WQHY-FM, Prestonsburg, Pikeville, Paintsville, Eastern Kentucky's best, and brought to you by the Prestonsburg Tourism and the Mountain Arts Center of Prestonsburg. In the studio, Q95 FM.